Hi. First of all, sorry for the delay. I know it's been 2 weeks, but let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my Scratch Build PC Case project series. I know it's been a bit of a delay. What I'm going to do today is just give you an overview of the design of the PC case and answer some of the questions that some people have been asking me about the airflow of the case. The second part of the video is me actually testing some of the materials I'll be using to build the case. Um, this is new in that previous projects and clients that I've been working for, they've the cases have always been standard or already provided me with a case. This is building it from scratch, and considering the fact that this case has got curves, it makes it a lot more difficult, a lot more complicated as opposed to a standard square shape cuboid PC case. So hopefully today you'll answer some of the questions that you might have had about airflow. Second part, again, I'll go through some of the testing that I've done and unfortunately failed in terms of being able to use using some of these adhesives. Now, whether it was down to my methods, which again, please comment in the section below if you've got any suggestions, or whether it's actually the cold. I know some of these adhesives that I've used, and there's only two really adhesives that I used in the video. They're not that great when it comes to using in the cold weather. Unfortunately, in the UK, we're in the winter period now, and temperatures do drop quite far down. My workshop isn't exactly the best place to be working in the winter, but it's what I got. So let's go ahead and start the video.
So if you remember last time, I had only two fans at the front and they were kind of angled. What I've decided to do this time is actually have three fans and have them in a sort of stepped configuration along the front. What I'm planning on doing is fabricating some surrounds around the fans that lead up to the case, just so it's a tight fit, and also that it'll provide solid direction for the air intake as well. And the purpose of doing this and having them in this vertical position is that the airflow will go straight to the key components like the CPU and the graphics card without impeding on their performance. What I've also done, and you can't quite actually see it here, is that I've decided that with these three fans along the top, they're actually going to be 92mm fans now, and that does actually mean that I will be widening the top of the case, not too much, fortunately, to allow for the 92mm exhaust fans. Now, ideally, I would have preferred 120mm fans at the top as well, but if I do that, I'm pretty much creating a square case, which I don't really want to be doing. So hopefully this should actually provide a better airflow within the unit. To be honest, I might actually go for a what's called CPU setup instead, thereby actually eliminating this whole setup over here and actually just having one fan directly for the GPU and the two fans with the radiator on the top. But we'll see. We'll see what we go with. And fortunately, I can't actually fit an exhaust fan at the back. I might see when I come to the actual testing the design if I can widen this bit slightly over here, just so I can fit maybe an 80mm or a 92mm fan on the back. But I can't see it happening, to be honest. Because of the case design, my approach might actually change to using water cooling system, even though in the first video I did say that I wasn't going to use it because it just makes things more complicated. I might actually change my mind and actually go in favor of a water cooling system because I can eliminate potential heat issues within the case. But again, guys, thanks for the comments and suggestions. I have taken them on board. If you still feel that there's something quite seriously wrong with this, drop a comment in the section below, and I'll see what I can do. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of gonna go for now instead. I'm gonna test it as well, see how this setup actually works when I actually get the case frame done. Once I've kind of got the frame sorted out, then I can start actually testing a few of my ideas and my theories out. Hopefully it'll give me a better idea of where to place the fans, as opposed to just placing them anywhere and just hoping for the best. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that bit. I can't see anything else that I want to be doing. I mean, I didn't want to finish off this design completely because I didn't see the need to anymore. So I've just left it as it is, kind of unfinished, because I've gotten what I needed out of it, and hopefully been able to demonstrate to you guys what I want to do with it.
So this is my workshop. What I'm doing now is I'm just getting a piece of aluminium angle so I can use that as a template when actually creating the template on the piece of plywood. This was just using the model that I created out of cardboard, so I used that as a reference to draw out the actual design of the front and the back. Screwed it down to the workbench and just used my jigsaw to cut out the actual template. I'll use this to frame around with the angle aluminium, just so I know I've got the angles and the measurements correct. So before doing that, I just sand it down with a piece of sandpaper, and also then using a detail sander to make sure I've got the curves all smoothed out and everything. This is important to make sure so that the angle aluminium will fit it in properly. So now what I'll do is I'll start measuring up the angled aluminium, and then start cutting little wedges out of each on one side, just so I can start bending it slowly over. And so I've put the angled aluminium onto the vice grip, and then I've used a hacksaw just to cut little wedges out, and then step by step just measuring out and just seeing how it fits on the actual template. You can see here that I've spent a bit of time cutting each individual wedge, and just making sure that each one corresponds and actually creates the curve on the one side. Once I've done this, I'll then move on to the next corner, and these both corners are on the bottom of the actual frame. So these are the most difficult ones because they turned about 90 degrees, so I'm going to make sure they're just right. What I'll show you a little later on is how I used some of the adhesive to actually work to strengthen the curves, but unfortunately I think because of the weather it didn't work out so well. The other thing I did make a mistake on this one, this test, was actually these cuts weren't exactly correct. You can see, even when bending it together, you can see gaps, which doesn't really help the situation. And then I went on and started cutting along the vertical edge just to curve it around the top side of the frame. Again, this wasn't as difficult because it was just stepped wedges that I needed to cut out along the length of the frame. So now that was done, I used Araldite as a first test to see how that would work. It comes in two parts. You squeeze that equal amount and mix together, and then you just literally put it on to the joints, and then you just clamp it into place. Now I did put it into the joints as well on the top. I honestly think it was just because of the weather, the cold, that it didn't join properly. I did bring the actual joint, the actual frame inside, so I can see if it would work by keeping it indoors. But again, it was the same situation. Once I take the clamps off, they cracked. That was the first test using the Araldite version. I also used another strong adhesive, which was a 2-part adhesive again. But again, that was the same issue. It cracked. It did not have enough strength. I've decided to actually look at brazing. Brazing is a solution where you basically use a blowtorch to heat up the aluminium angle, and then you apply. Once you apply enough heat, you use a brazing rod to melt onto the aluminium angle and create a very strong joint. That seems to be a better solution, and I'm going to try that in this week, and then hopefully in next week's video you'll see that come up. So thanks for watching. Really hope you enjoyed the video. As I mentioned in the video, there are a few other techniques that I'm going to try, especially brazing. It's probably one of the easier ones in terms of a novice like me. As I mentioned, previous builds I've always used rivets, and they're a lot more easier to join a frame together and actually join the covers together. But yeah, stay tuned. In the next week or so, I'll be uploading the next video. Again, please subscribe, please dislike if you don't like the video. Comment in the section below for any suggestions or any questions or any queries. I really do hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now.